Welcome to this BluHorn video on how to create a new Nielsen Broadcast Television worksheet within your BluHorn dashboard. As a reminder, to utilize Nielsen television ratings, you must have a correlating BluHorn account as well as an account with Nielsen for broadcast television ratings. If you have a question about this or are interested in setting up a Nielsen or BluHorn subscription account, please email us at support@bluhorn.com. When you're ready, you can access any campaign or start a new campaign to add the worksheet to. I'll be accessing a prior campaign and scroll down to add new worksheet. From here, I'll give it a name, and then you can change your date range or leave it to the custom selection you made when setting up the campaign. It will always default to the campaign dates, and we do recommend leaving them the same if possible. From here, you'll select Rated Nielsen as your market type, and then you'll select Broadcast TV Rated for a Nielsen television worksheet. From here, you'll need to select a market where you have broadcast television Nielsen vendors set up. This is the market you set up when setting up your vendors. From here, a list of all available vendors in that particular market will appear. You can select them individually, or you can select all if you'd like by clicking the Add All button here on the left. You can also change your reps if you have more than one rep set up for that particular vendor in that market. Here's where you select your stations for the correlating vendors above. You can click Add All to quickly add all to match your vendors. If nothing appears in this box, it means that you've missed a step when setting up your vendors. You can go back and edit vendors and then start your worksheet again. It's a good idea to re-watch the video on how to add a new rated vendor to your BluHorn account in order to ensure you don't miss a step. After this, you may add a GRP goal or leave that blank. If you'd like to use household demographics for either your primary or secondary demographics within your worksheet, you'll need to indicate that here. If you plan to use standardized demographic pieces from Nielsen, you can select none, and you'll select your primary and secondary a little bit later. Here's where you can choose the advanced view for Nielsen books. If you have a question about that, email us at support@bluhorn.com. It will default to no, as that is what our standard has been. Here you select your HUT books. You can select more than one, and when you click this box, every available book you have for that particular market will populate. As a reminder, if you select more than one book, our system will average the ratings based on the books that you have selected. Here you can also then select your share, and this is where you select your sample type. For sample type and collection method, if you're unsure about what to select in these categories, reach out to your Nielsen rep to find out what's available for the market that you have. Under collection method, when you select a particular collection method, only the available books for that collection method will appear above. So if I select diary only, you'll see I'm not available or able to change the HUT or books. There's nothing available for diary only in my particular selected market. However, if I switch to LPM and then go in, I'm able to select from those books. This is how I know that I'm making the correct selection. So if you change your collection method, please ensure that you still see your HUT books and share available and populated in these areas. Now you may select your primary demographic. You can use one of the pre-populated options here, or you may add or subtract from the selections you've made to create a custom demographic, which you can rename at any time. You can select a secondary demographic, but is not required, and you can leave it blank. Here you may change your commission if it's different from the one that you selected upon campaign setup. This is what all your worksheets will have defaulted to. However, you can make any adjustments that you'd like. You can also change from broadcast to calendar weeks or change to our grid layout. You can also change your max reach from our automatic default. Click Add Worksheet, and you'll note that the worksheet adds below. You'll see it as a new worksheet if you haven't accessed it yet. You can click on the worksheet number or title, and it will take you into the worksheet where you'll see all the information that you selected upon setup here. Now you can start building your avail lines down below. You can manually populate this information, or you can import an avail or even a proposal by clicking the Import File button. If you have a question about this process, there is a video available on how to import a file at bluhorn.com/videos. For the sake of this video, I have changed over to a broadcast television rated worksheet that already has some data populated. Here you'll see the information on this particular worksheet. You can see the information by week and by month here, and down below are the worksheet lines that have been populated previously by an upload of an avail. Once you have this information in and you're ready to update your ratings, you'll want to go to the green Create Order drop-down menu and click Update Ratings. This is once you have avail lines populated, either by import or by manual entry. You can update ratings as many times as you like. So if you go in and populate one vendor's avail or proposal and you'd like to update ratings, you can do so, or you can wait until you have all stations in. Once you've updated the ratings, you'll see that the ratings information will populate in the appropriate columns. You'll be able to see HUT, share, ratings, cost per point if you have rates entered, as well as impact information and cost per thousand. Anything with a 2 at the end refers to your secondary demographic. Also, once you've updated your ratings, you'll have access to click on the Nielsen Detail icons at the end of each line. This is a line-by-line account of the information that we import from Nielsen for every single line of your avail or worksheet. The first screen is the ratings information, and this shows you where your ratings came from on each particular line. This is always the primary demographic information, and this is secondary. The D's stand for demographic breakouts, and these make up the primary or secondary demographic that you've set up. If you hover over them, you can see each description appear. D16 is females 25-34. This is a little more important once you get into the detailed tabs above. On this particular tab, you're able to see each individual component of the demographic from women 18 to 34. When I hover over this, I remember that this is for females 18 to 20, and I can see how their performance compares to females 25-34. This also shows you how we got our average and how you see the HUT that you see on your actual worksheet line. You can do the same for share, and you also have access to the other books, regardless of what you selected. You can see here the Live +3 that was selected on worksheet setup information is here, but I'm also able to see Live and Same Day, Live +7, etc. Also, if you have lots of historical data, you'll be able to see trends over time. You can easily go line by line by clicking the Next Line button and look at every single line of your avail. Or if you're just wanting to look at the one, exit out. You can always click back into another one at any place on your worksheet and see all of the information that we have provided. If I click Next Line, it will go to the next line on my worksheet. And you can always tell where you are by seeing a reference for the start and end time, as well as days of the week that you have selected for that particular detail. Your worksheet's now active and ready for you to make changes or send orders. At the bottom, you're able to see your station order settings, select individual vendors. This worksheet only has one vendor. However, you can select and preview the order or even send it directly from our system. If you have any questions as you're working in your Nielsen Rated Television worksheet, please remember to use the Life Raft icon to contact our support team for the fastest possible response. Thank you for using BluHorn.